the end of days. The first sign shall appear in the heavens. Justice shall fall upon the world of men. The armies of light and shadow will clash across the fields of eternity. Are you all right, my girl?
It was nothing, Uncle. Just a bad dream. We should be getting you home.
But there's still work to be done. If these translations are correct, the powers of hell could already be on the move. The world must be told of the coming darkness. You do believe me, don't you, Leah? It has begun.
Leave it, Uncle. It's not important.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Diablo 3. I'm, of course, Drak. It's been a while to be able to get to this point. We finally finished both the Darkening of Tristram to stand for Diablo 1. We finished Diablo 2 and its expansion, Lord of Destruction. It's time to delve into Diablo 3, the most recent entry in the Diablo series. And I'm making good on my promise. I have not played a Necromancer in Diablo 3 yet. I made the promise in Diablo 2. Since I couldn't make the Necromancer work, I would play a Necromancer in D3, and I've done nothing with it, so this is going to be a fresh experience, just like Diablo 2 was. And let's go ahead and get things started with Act 1, The Fallen Star.
All that grows must also wither and die. What dies and rots will then nourish the living. This is the great cycle of being, and we, the priests of Rathma, use our dark art to protect it. Though most do not understand us, we go where we are needed. My master has learned that a star fell in the west, drawing the dead from their graves. He commands me to journey to Tristram and return them to their rest. For if the cycle is not upheld, it would mean the end of all things.
And with that, we are thrust into the story of Diablo 3. Now, technically I have Paragon points to be able to spend, So I'm just going to go ahead and nuke through those really quick because I have played this game quite a bit. And I'm not going to worry too much about it. So let's see. We're probably going to want critical hit damage and defense. We'll just stick with life and resource cost reduction. There we go. So here we are. We are going to go through the story of Diablo 3.
I am near the fallen star and the dead it raised.
And I'm actually looking very much forward to this, guys. This is going to be an awesome playthrough. And of course, I hope everybody's having an awesome week in December so far. Ooh, gee, many Christmas. Okay, so bone spikes. And then we also have a melee attack. Boom, all right. And that's right. Essence is the resource of the Necromancer, so we're just going to play it safe here. Let's see what's going on up here. Oh, at New Tristram. Let's see if we can help them out.
I have come to aid these lands. Where is the fallen star?
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
Captain Rumford, more dead are coming.
We can't open the gates until we drive them back.
Well, I guess I gotta help out with that. Oh, aren't you guys gonna take a hint? Boom, boom! Kill them! Wow, this Necro is actually really satisfying. Level 2!
Anyone fight like that before? Guards, open the gates. You'll find Leah at the Slaughtered Calf Inn.
All right, so we need to go and meet this Leah character. And the way I believe that this actually goes, so people might know this because of the Diablo Immortal fiasco. There is actually a 15-20 year gap between Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction and Diablo 3, in which a lot of events have happened. And unfortunately, we don't really know too much of that. But after 20 years, a fallen star has hit Tristram. And it looks like the beings of hell are on the move. In the meantime, though, like I said, this is a brand spanking new experience for me as I'm taking on the Diablo 3 Necro. So let's see, we got Bone Spikes, and then I've also got Bone Spear. Summoning a projectile that causes damage to all... Ooh, okay, I'm gonna love that.
Before they rise again.
Exactly, that's exactly what you should do.
Zakharum has fallen to disgrace. What faith can save us now? It is the end of the world. Can't you see that?
And yet, strangely, I feel fine. All right, so we're going to go into the Slaughtered Calf Inn. That is where Leah should be waiting for us. So come on in here, and that must be Leah.
Are you Leah? Did you survive the fallen star?
I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but... Watch out! The wounded are turning!
Oh no! I must save them! By killing them. Sometimes death is simply a release.
Killing business.
And this is definitely killing business. I'm not going to disagree with you, Braun.
The dead will overwhelm us all, unless something is done.
Yes. That is why I am here.
Thank you. You should speak with Captain Rumford at the gate. He can tell you what to do.
All right, and before we do that, I'm actually going to go into Leah's room because the other cool thing about Diablo 3 is being able to find things like books that help uncover lore.
We've been under siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope. I tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
I always love finding books, and I'm going to try and be as quiet as I can because this is a voiced game, and we've got it as high as we possibly can so I don't have to worry about all the problems with Diablo 2 when it comes to voice. So I'm going to try and be as quiet as I can, but occasionally I might drown out some, like, villagers and things like that. I'll at least stick to the plot, though.
I will bring peace to the risen dead.
I admire your courage, but Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
I have experience in these matters.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades!
Oh, no! Well, then I guess I've got to go ahead and do this. Bam!
That's one of the wretched mothers. There are more of them in the ruins down the road.
There we are. Now, I'm just going to grab whatever gear I can because you literally start off with nothing, and then we'll eventually start upgrading that stuff with blues and eventually yellows. And yeah, we're just going to go through the plot of Diablo 3, and then eventually we'll go through the Act 5 plot of Reaper of Souls. And I think that'll be a wonderful Diablo retrospective being able to be put into play, at least until Diablo 4. Oh, Jiminy Christmas, that does hurt. And look at all the corpses, all the wonderful, glorious corpses that are being left behind. Oh, and you could still, as per Diablo 3 tradition, be able to tap all the corpses. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and be honest on this. I don't know if I'm going to, like, completely devote myself to unlocking the entire map for some of these things. I'll try and stick to the plot as much as I can, but if I find little dungeons here and there, I might actually try and go through them just for some gear. So hopefully that's not too bothersome, because it is pretty much the Diablo experience to try and do that. Crap. Oh, did I get a dagger? I did, and it's slightly better than what I have. So I'll go ahead and equip it. And right now I have to focus on these wretched mothers, because they're the ones spewing out all these horrors. Oh, that bone spike is just going to be, like, very satisfying near the end of this. There we go. Okay, so now we got a chest. Oh, good. We've got additional gear to work with. Okay, so we got a belt. Regenerates life, okay. And then we also have regenerate life and +3 life after a kill. And the other thing I really do like, kind of like in Diablo 2, but not so much, at least with the pixelation, we're going to be able to see these models on the Necromancer, so that's going to be even more awesome, because I love a lot of the gear sets that we're hearing about, or that are in the game. Oh, crap.
My master would take pride in this.
There we go. The other thing I'm also going to warn people in advance is I'm going to reserve the right to eventually upgrade difficulty if I want to, just because I do play Diablo 3 on a regular basis, so if I think I can get a little bit more XP out of a harder difficulty, then I'm going to do that. But still the goal is to go through the story mode of Diablo 3. At that point, if I can do it at a harder difficulty, all the better. Because then at that point, I can just keep leveling, and that'll be all the better for me as well as for you guys. That way, things still kind of stay difficult. Boom. Okay, so that's all 3 of the wretched mothers. Let's see if we can... Dude, like, everywhere I put bone spikes down, it just leaves corpses. Oh, and we have a dank cellar. Is it full of dank memes? Might not go into it unless it's full of dank memes. Boom. Okay. Kill that guy off. And is there literally nothing in here? Damn it. I was hoping for at least a chest. I'm so disappointed by that, but I also did get an ability. Where was it? We have Grim Scythe. Slash with a summoned scythe in front of your enemy, in front of you, damaging nearby enemies. Okay, so at that point, I could probably put that in. Okay, you know what? Sure, we're gonna try it out. We're gonna try out Grim Scythe and see what it does. That's kind of cool. I tend to be more of a melee player anyway, so this will work more to my playstyle. And eventually, as soon as we get more of the nastier Necromancer abilities, we can then adapt as we go along. I mean, if I was to ideally do anything, I'd probably put Bone Spear on my... In fact, that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm gonna change this out for Grim Scythe. Or actually, we're going to have to do this, aren't we? Okay. Oh, crap. A Wretched Queen. No! Screw you! All right. Now let's actually try and switch this out. So, boom. Do Bone Spikes here. Then we'll swipe this out for Bone Spear. And then we'll give Grim Scythe over. Oh, and... So we found the Old Ruins transport. That's going to be helpful. And let's just go ahead and close down and see what we can
Weakness
find.
consumes you.
Yeah, that's gonna work out just fine. Because then at that point I can just go wham! And this is how I get my essence. And another dark cellar. I wonder what I can find in here. Oh wait, more corpses. Never would have guessed. Come on, that scythe just doesn't kill things as quick. Ooh, another sash. Oh, and an axe. Okay, that's going to be very helpful. So we'll do that because it gives us bonus damage. And no, we do not want that belt. We'll go ahead and keep this little hatchet. And actually, I'm going to swap out... This is one of the things I really like about Diablo 3, is that I can just kind of swap out abilities to adapt a play style as I go along. So we need to head back to Tristram, and the way that we do that is through these waypoints. The waypoints of Diablo 3, and boom, just teleport it. And the other cool thing that I really do like, but we don't have the ability yet, is Town Portal is no longer a scroll, it's just an ability. We'll eventually get it in the story, but let's talk to Captain Rumford.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
Interesting. If he lives, his knowledge could prove useful. My power has grown.
Oh, there you go. Oh, and I did just unlock a new ability. Corpse Explosion. I'm so happy that I have that now. Okay, so I'm actually going to also try and follow a little bit of a leveling build so that we can have the most optimum abilities at all times. So I'm going to go ahead and swap this out to Bone Spikes, and we're going to swap this out to... Oh, crap. Yeah, you can't necessarily do this one just yet. But what I want to do is the right button is going to be Corpse Explosion from here on in. So I can just go boom, 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 and keep the explosions a-coming. And maybe what I'll do instead of that is, just for the moment, we'll go ahead and do Grim Scythe. All right, so let's talk to Leah.
I will help you find your uncle, Leah.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to Adria's hut. The key must still be there.
All right, so we need to use the waypoint to go to the old ruins.
And now he's dead.
So let's go ahead and go back to the old ruins. And over here...
Here, let me open the gate. Adria was my mother, but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
Did you know your father?
I'm told he was a great warrior who was lost when Tristram fell to the demons.
Very interesting. So you're the daughter of Adria, and your father was a warrior that fell when Tristram had its initial problems in the first game. Huh.
Look, a hidden cellar. Follow me.
So this is technically Adria's hut, and it looks like she had a hidden cellar.
Dark magic lingers here.
People said she was a witch, but I never believed it.
There we go. And, oh, look at that. Okay, so we got a cauldron. She's definitely a witch. Boom! Oh, that's so satisfying. Just kill. There we go. Not enough corpses around. So that's what you do. You just make them go boom.
Here's the key, and my mother's journal. What I've seen of it is disturbing. I want to know more about her, but that can wait. We need to save Uncle Deckard first.
Leave that to me. You'd best stay and learn what you can.
Thank you.
Aiden came to me last night. I suspected what was lurking within his troubled heart. I consoled him as best I could. Regardless, wherever he's headed, hell will surely follow in his wake. The shadows close in on Tristram once again. But like Aiden, I'll be gone before they fall.
So I'm just going to go ahead and spoil this now because it's already kind of hinted at this point. If Adria is her mother, a lot of talk from Adria is about Aiden. And Aiden is the canon warrior from Diablo 1, and actually the canon person who became the Dark Wanderer. And so at that point, it's very clear to assume at this point that Adria and Aiden hooked up, and Leah is the result of that. So also, the other thing I really like about Diablo 3 is that you can get even more story from talking to them. So let's go ahead and talk about Tristram.
For a long time, Uncle Deckard avoided coming back to this place. There were a lot of ghosts here for him. This is where Diablo drove old King Leoric mad and terrorized the people. I don't know what really happened here, but whatever it was horrible. Nearly everyone who survived went mad.
Okay, and then we also have Adria's death.
How did your mother die?
Well, details are hazy, but I know that Adria was obsessed with chasing the arcane. She knew she could never raise a child. Uncle Deckard believes that the madness and horror of her life finally caught up with her.
Well, okay. Well, that's definitely one answer to that. So let's go ahead and make our way out of Adria's cellar. And now we need to go to the cathedral. Oh. What the heck are you doing here? Let's go ahead and grab some reusable parts. These will be used in crafting, which we will probably do like every 10 levels. I'm just going to try and craft the best gear that I'm possibly able to make just to help things out. Because basically, the other thing that people have to keep in mind, this is why I can't necessarily avoid it, is all my resources are connected from all my characters. So at that point, I might as well take advantage of them and just help out the leveling experience. So I know a few people that'll probably be like, well, you aren't playing it like true hardcore like a first time. Well, it's not my first time, and it's very clear that it isn't my first time, so I can't necessarily hold up that illusion, so to speak. So we'll just go through the story of Diablo 3, and that should do more than enough. Cool. All right, so now that we've got that, let's keep it going. Up this way. Boom! Oh, I love it. So satisfying to blow up corpses in this game.
Tristram Cathedral.
All right, so this is the original cathedral from Diablo 1. Let's step on inside. Oh, and look at that. Cathedral level 1. So, yeah, that's a big hole in the church. In fact, this is where you saw the opening cutscene take place. Is that they did come back to Tristram Cathedral. So let's go ahead and step into the cathedral. And obviously, it's been totally reimagined, and I love it. And oh, look at that.
The star fell below.
That's a long way for that star to fall. So, okay. This is the other thing I really love with Diablo 3 is that you can use the environment around you to kill demons and undead. Oh, that's so helpful.
My power has grown.
Okay, level 5. Skeletal Mage. I remember that was one of the abilities that I wanted to be able to keep. So let's see if I can put it in. I think I do want to be able to have that. So, Skeletal Mage. Raises a skeleton from the ground to attack your foes. Yes. Oh, yes. 1,000 times yes. How many can I have? 2? 3? 3. Okay. So you can have at most 3. Oh, I finally get to do the Summoner Necro again. Very cool. Let's go ahead and put these gloves on. Oh, boots. Health globes and potions grant additional life. We can't use bows. That kind of sucks, but oh well. We'll make it work. Oh, and they're temporary. Okay, so I should keep that in mind. All the skeletal mages are temporary. They are not a permanent thing like with summoners. Maybe they're summoner talents? I don't know. We'll figure that out once we get to level 10.
Boom! Boom! Death nears.
Just blow them all up. Blow them all up. Oh, that's so satisfying. I've been waiting a long time for this. Boom! Blow them up again. I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy my Necro. I'm going to enjoy the living hell out of him. Okay, so loose stone. Nah, nothing out of that. Let's check the dead villagers, because I know you can occasionally get some good money off of them. Take care of the chest. And, ooh, an Adventure Club of Wounding. 2 to 3 damage. And additional experience. We are going to want that. So it just looks like I'm going to be holding a giant chicken wing from here on in, and I'm okay with that. Hope you guys are okay with that. 7 items crushed, and because I got the streak, I now get a 30-second speed bonus, so we'll go ahead and use that to the full extent we can. Boom! No! I'm not done exploding! I'm not done exploding! There we go. Oh, and yeah, okay, let's go ahead and turn that off. Sorry, I completely forgot that I had Discord on, so okay, I don't know. We don't want to harm the immersion.
Save me.
So I will just go ahead and say this. Hi, Art of Anime. Thanks for interrupting my stream. Boom! There we go. Oh, black mushrooms. Okay. And it's a legendary. Okay, well, let's see what it does. The Witch Adria seeks a black mushroom. I know as much about black mushrooms as I do about red herrings. Deckard King. Okay, and then also we're going to be getting these whenever we can, which are Pools of Reflection, basically giving us rested XP, or the equivalent of rested XP. Let's go ahead and grab this book.
My name is Latdanan, and I'm cursed. Once the captain of King Leoric's army, I left only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
And this is actually one of the other reasons I really love Diablo 3's audio. Just to be able to flesh out the world even more. You get to hear stories like that of Latdanan, where he's such a loyal servant of King Leoric, and then eventually when you realize that, you know, King Leoric went mad, it's just all the sadder to see, like, his dedication to a mad king. Okay, so we can go back this way. I kind of wish we could get more speed boosts, because that would be really helpful right about now. Boom. Let's go ahead and let that go. And up this way, we're moving really slow. I am so used to moving faster on my Barbarian in this game compared to the Necro, but it's all right, because the Necro's really satisfying to me at the moment. Okay, come up this way, and boom. Scribe's Lectern. We got even more. Oh, Latdanan Scroll 2.
It was Lazarus. Of that I am certain. He alone had the king's ear, and whispered dark and evil magics into it, instilling the notion of an imminent attack by Westmarch. Afraid to speak against the Archbishop, the councillors nodded their empty heads in agreement and sent us off to die.
Oh, man. The stories just get progressively grimmer. Oh, and here's another one. Latdanan Scroll 3.
When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage, spitting curses upon us as traitors. With great sorrow, I ran him through.
Ah, man, and he ultimately was one of the guys to take down Leoric. In fact, the guy. He ran him through. The other thing I do also like about Diablo 3 is the rune system, which basically gives an added talent. This is kind of how they avoid talent trees in this game, where they do the rune system instead. You can add abilities or extra stuff to the abilities of the Necromancer or the Barbarian. We just barely unlocked Sudden Impact. Bone Spikes occasionally stun enemies. That is actually really helpful compared to no rune, so we're gonna go ahead and use it. We don't have any other runes, and they also tell you like when the abilities will unlock, and the cap is level 70, so we can get some really awesome ones by that point, I would think. Let's see, where else can we go? We have to unlock the map as we go along. Man, it really makes me wish there was a corpse there so I could explode the table. I love a lot of the physics of this game. It's very satisfying to be able to make your way through a greater rift and just wreck an entire forest as you do it. Here we go. Boom! So this is going to be very helpful for trying to get everybody into my corpse explosion. Oh!
I can bring
Blues!
that down.
Boom! All right, so with blues and bonuses, we get better equipment. So, okay, better chest armor there. We'll take that. I'm going to be very much on the lookout for blue names and yellow names so that we can get even more upgraded equipment to use on our journey as Drak Necro. Boom! Oh, you guys have no idea. That corpse explosion is just going to sell the Necromancer's experience to me. Oh, cutscene.
Foul minions, stay back! Back! May this ledge roll. The Skeleton King.
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones.
This is the other thing I really like. In-game cutscenes. We gotta go help Uncle Deckard. He's not in good shape right now. Boom! There we go. Oh, okay. You want round two? Fine. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Boom! Boom! There we go. Oh, so satisfying, that corpse explosion. I'm never gonna stop saying that. No, we do not want any of the stuff that we just barely got. Let's talk to Deckard.
Oh, thank you. But why did you risk yourself for me?
I believe we can aid each other. Your niece told me you were here.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found.
Okay, so all you gotta do is go up to the Cathedral Garden from here. And now that we have
We must
Deckard,
discuss the fallen star. Follow me to Tristram.
all right, so back to Tristram we go.
I have found Leah's uncle, Deckard Cain. He was pursued by a creature called the Skeleton King, who blocks the path to the fallen star.
And yes, it is the Skeleton King. It is King Leoric from Diablo 1. I'm actually very happy that they decided to put him back and do a lot of this homage. Because by this point, like 10 plus years had passed. I think Diablo 3 came out on the 15-year anniversary of Diablo. So at that point, like, there's a lot of ground to be able to cover, and it's actually really cool to be able to see these models revisited in the Diablo 3 engine.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
Friend? I am not often called that. But I wish to know more about the fallen star.
The prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back.
Boom! So with that, we also get a new chest item, which is significantly better. At least it gives us some base stats out of that. A little bit more vitality. And let's talk to Deckard Cain.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
I will find a way to lay him to rest.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts.
All right, so the...
Leah, you should not dismiss the signs so lightly. Do you not believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the texts? The Zakarum tomes warn of a falling star. The Herodric scroll spoke of the dead rising and the Lord of Lies. The prophecy of the end days says that at the end of all things, the first sign shall appear in the heavens.
Yes, you've been telling me about the texts since I was 8 years old, Uncle. I just don't think we should read too much into them.
I did not want to interrupt that because I love the dynamic that actually gets played in this. So Leah is practically been raised by Deckard Cain, and Deckard Cain has gone through a lot of these experiences, and I don't know if he's actually told her. I mean, a lot of the stuff he's bared witness to, but at that point, like, you have this dynamic of she's very skeptical and thinks that he's basically Mr. Tinfoil Hat, and he is telling her, yes, the end days are coming, and these are the warnings, and we should be paying attention to them. And so it's an interesting dynamic you get to be able to do in the first act of the game. You also get additional dialogue with them, so life with Cain.
I've spent most of my life traveling from place to place with Uncle Deckard while he did his crazy research.
It seems reasonable enough to me.
He's convinced that the forces of hell will invade our world and bring about the end times. All these years, he's still searching for a way to stop this apocalypse.
Okay, and then you also have Adria.
What did you learn of Adria?
She wasn't from Tristram originally. She came here during the Troubles. She was in search of something, but I'm not sure what. She reminds me of Uncle Deckard, obsessed with the war between angels and demons.
Okay, and then also with Deckard Cain, you can get Who Are You?
I am the last of the Herodrim. I couldn't always claim this. In fact, if I had turned to the Herodric teachings sooner, Diablo could have been stopped before his reign of terror began.
That seems unlikely.
When the first signs appeared, I did nothing. I had shrugged the old tales off like they were so much fantasy. And Tristram, no, the world has paid dearly for my arrogance. I have tried to make up for my failings. Leah and I have spent her lifetime scouring the world, collecting pieces of the prophecy of the end days. If I can decipher it, we will have the key to defeating the lords of hell.
There you go, and then you can also get your adopted niece, and that's basically what she is.
You and Leah depend on each other.
I do not know what my life would have been like had I not raised her. Oh, it must have been difficult for Leah, following an old man on a mad search for the secrets to defeating the lords of the burning hells. But though she has seen her share of mysterious things, she is still unsure of my quest. I can understand. She has never seen anything like Diablo and his brothers.
This is true. She's never borne witness to it, but Deckard has. So it's difficult to explain that to somebody who's never seen it. It literally does sound like a crazy tale. So you also have Prophecy of the End Days.
The prophecy of the end days is contained within the Herodric tomes I inherited from my ancestor, Jared Cain. It is a warning to those who could interpret it regarding hell's ultimate invasion of our world, written by many different people throughout history, in many different lands. All known versions of the prophecy are incomplete. I have spent a good part of the past 20 years trying to complete it. I am certain it holds the answers to defeating the lords of hell.
There you go. And then finally we have Mad King Leoric.
What happened to Tristram's king?
Leoric resisted Diablo's attempts to possess him, but the effort left him weak and confused. When his son Albrecht was kidnapped to be a vessel for Diablo, it destroyed any sanity Leoric had left.
And so he became the Skeleton King.
He commanded an army of the dead deep within the cathedral, finally serving the Lord of Terror he had resisted while alive. Many adventurers tried and failed to slay the Skeleton King. It was left to Leoric's eldest son, Aiden, to finally kill the monster his father had become.
All right, and then also you can still technically talk to Captain Rumford to be able to get additional information from him, and that's actually one thing I recommend if you haven't played Diablo 3 for the first time. Get as much lore as you can by talking to all of the major plot characters, because they will give you a little bit more of the unfolding of the world. So let's go ahead and talk to about Captain Dalton.
When Leah told us the dead were pouring out of the cathedral, we quickly went to put an end to it. At first, it seemed we were succeeding, but they just kept coming. We were overcome. Captain Dalton and the men fought valiantly. They protected me. I am no soldier. I was a farmer. I should not have been out there with them. I do not know how I made it back here. None of the others did. And now, somehow, I'm supposed to lead the militia.
Because these are dark times. All right, tell me about yourself.
I volunteered to help because it seemed the right thing to do. But I'm no leader of men.
True, though you have held the town thus far.
That's a simple thing for you to say. You were born to fight monsters like the risen dead. Me? I'm just a farmer.
All right, and then finally you can do the blacksmith.
These dark events tax us. I worry for Hadrig, our blacksmith, most of all. His wife has been injured, and he is tasked with seeing to those who may turn. His family has suffered under this curse before. His grandfather, the Chancellor to King Leoric, was killed when the evil first spread over Tristram 20 years ago.
Which I think is actually a name delete you could come across in Diablo 1. I'm not sure about that. But the other thing, too, that I want to showcase, because we're actually running out of time, is you can go into Kane's house. And in Kane's house, you can find additional lore details. So, like, this is where Deckard Cain would live in Tristram. And with that, you also get a book, which is Deckard Cain's Journal, Part 1.
We have come at last to Tristram's old cathedral. This is where Diablo, Lord of Terror, first corrupted mankind. This is where I may finally find the answers I seek. Leah worries after my safety, but I believe information vital to defeating the last lords of the burning hells can be found here.
And with that, unfortunately, we are out of time for this part. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for your continued love, support, and patience with the channel. And when we return next year, at least next year, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get more parts out. After my break, when we return, we will continue to explore the world of Sanctuary in Diablo 3. We'll see you guys then.